Colin Gillis, Director of Research at Brigantine Advisors, also an expert on Google. All right, Colin, good to have you with us. Thanks for coming in. So do we get a piece of hardware with the Google name on it?
We've long been expecting that there would be the G phone from Google with the Google brand on it, right? Because one of the things that's always been a stumbling block for Google in its quest to dominate the mobile industry is that it's been working with partners to roll out these phones. So, and many people have said that Google has not completely been able to reach its vision for what it wants out of a mobile device because of the partnerships, and that by producing their own G phone, they'd be able to go down that road.
And does that make sense? Is that what's going to happen, do you think?
Well, so certainly the expectations, there's a lot of talk out there that people are seeing the G phone.
Right, I mean, I've read a blog today saying that, oh yeah, it's coming, right. It's definitely coming. But I mean, Google actually branding a piece of technology hardware, what's really in it for them?
Yeah, very little, right? Because, this is the key point here, right? It's not about any one particular phone for Google, right? What Google wants is to have its Android system be prolific and get out there and be running multiple devices. And we've seen that strategy. In fact, 2009 has been the year for Android. Android's been a big success for Google, relatively quietly. It's gone from one phone a year ago to running on about 18 phones now, plus, going from smaller carriers like T-Mobile to, the big splashy launch we just had a few weeks ago with Verizon and their Droid phone. You've probably seen that $100 million campaign, for Droid phones with the Verizon and Google. So you finally got a robust phone on arguably one of the best, 3G heavy data networks that's out there.
All right. So does Google then go vertical in a sense? I mean, because that seems to be Apple's strategy, right? They want the vertical market. They got everything from the software to the hardware to the App Store. Does Google go the same route?
Yeah. So it's interesting because again, it doesn't completely jive with what Google's been doing, which is promoting open platforms, right? And Apple's not doing that. And in fact, iTunes, the walled garden approach with Android. That's been the reason.
By the way, Apple's got their developer conference for all of these apps that's taking place this week at the Marriott Marquis here in New York.
That's right.
I'm surprised you even had time to come in with us today.
Well, anything for Pimm.
I appreciate that.
So,
all right, sorry, go back to Android.
But the key thing here is Android, right? Out in the wild, it's available to all the developers, and that's what's gotten it propelled to on the application side, where you buy a phone not just for the phone but for all the neat applications that come. You've heard the stat: 100,000 apps available on the Apple iPhone. There's 10,000 apps available for Android phones, and the reason that's been so successful is because it's an open development community, and Google's been supporting the development of these applications. So for them to come out with a branded phone, even though there's a lot of talk about it, and it's been rumored for years, people are saying that they've seen it, it does go contrary to what they've accomplished, which is working with multiple partners and having Android be a platform that just drives more mobile usage. Because at the end of the day, Google doesn't care what phone you use.
As long as you use their operating system.
No, as long as you're doing more searches. That's right. Just search more. Search more, and then they kind of say, let the best search engine win.
What about the idea of getting that search engine on an iPhone, let's say, the competing phone, if indeed we're going to get a Google-branded phone? They'd be very happy with that, and indeed, there's a little bit of an issue there, right?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. What they really don't want is to have closed carrier systems where, companies like Microsoft, for instance, could come in and could pay big amounts of money to be the default search engine, or to kick Google off and to make it very difficult for Google to have access. So it's all about open access. Google's pretty good about saying all we really want is a fair playing field, and we'll compete on our own merits. And they obviously do very well on that.
And those merits are the search capability and the ability to deliver that targeted advertising.
Well, I'd say deliver solid organic results, right? Give you what you're looking for, and then also they marry that very well with a targeted advertisement. And what they do quite well is they don't deliver you a lot of spam ads. So they try to give you that, Sergey has this vision of the one golden ad, that fits exactly what you're looking for, that an advertiser pays an awful lot of money for. So they're always trying to balance relevancy with, with revenue.
All right, and I'm assuming you've got still the buy recommendation on Google.
Absolutely.
What's the price target now?
$650 right now.
$650. All right, so we're
continues to
$580 or so, $585, somewhere around there.
And so Google's the best company to own in this space, in our opinion.